Clickety clack. We just trying to share to the interwebs.
Clickety click 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 click.
You could also share to the interwebs, wherever you might be watching our beautiful black faces. Dun, dun, dun. Reporting from St. Louis and Philadelphia.
Ba, ba,
It's
ba,
it's Commander Ship and Grandmaster Phil on this tonight's episode of State of the Nerd Union. Dun, dun, dun,
Last
dun.
time on State of the Nerd Union. I don't know. I missed the last episode. I was on the moon at the time.
Me and Jerry had a good time. It was good. Yeah, folks, it is Monday night. Sorry it took us a little bit. We were trying to finish notes. So
Nah, we were just messing around,
that too.
making memes. You know how it is.
We could have been done at 8. We were just like,
It's like,
we gotta scroll a little more TikTok.
yeah, we were busy asking the important questions, like what happens if a werewolf bites a regular wolf? Right? Critically important.
But now, I don't know.
Exactly, and that's why we were talking about it. It was a very heated discussion. Speaking of heated, I don't really know. This is the first one's yours, Kitty. Something transitional segue.
Transitional segue. All right. So, Little Nas X is in the news for, I think he's been in the news for great stuff. But now it's not like fake controversy stuff that people make being incensed for no reason. The Call Me By Your Name video, Montero, the song by Little Nas X was being used. TikTok user Break the Huddle decided this won't go to any TV theme and swapped it out with Fairly Odd Parents. And TikTok's been on fire ever since because
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. So for folks that are wondering what's happening here, why are people liking this? Well, the first video, by the time that you'd have the breakout moment, that the animation gets more towards the end of the little intro for Fairly Odd Parents. It also matches up with the chorus of Call Me By Your Name. And that timing tends to be in a lot of, you're trying to do a really short verse and then get into a chorus very quickly, which is what the song does. So it is hitting a lot of shows where, like, if they have a musician or something, the Jonas Brothers show, it almost looks like they're singing the song by the time it syncs up. So you can go check out this trend on TikTok and see how many people have created their own little videos of it. But if you're wondering, like, how is that working? It's like, that's what's going on.
This reminds me of, like, when people are like, wow, how does this song go with everything? And I'm like, it's because it's in 4/4. And it's like, oh, but wow, it's like, why does Guile's theme work so well with so many things? And I'm like, it's because it's in 4/4. It's like, how do you mash up Fresh Prince and Guile's theme? It's because it's in 4/4. And we write a lot of music to that time scheme. So this is how it works. It's like, I mean, if you take two songs in the same meter and you play them side by side and you do it enough, like, you end up with some of them, like, a lot of them. So sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of times it probably does. So there you go.
But I mean, it's still. I mean, it's and that's what you're seeing.
It is. I mean, it is still a good song. Like, if you take a good song and you play it over something that's even remotely mediocre, you're probably going to end up with something good. Like, if, for example, like, look at, like, every musician who does a cover, and you're like, wow, this is really great. And I'm like, listen to the original. It's because the original's already really great. So it would, like, no matter what they did, they really couldn't ruin it, like, to make it worse. And it's like, oh wow, you look at, like, the original, like, you listen to Lil Nas' original song, like, this is already fire. You throw it over, it's like barbecue sauce. You pour it on something, it's already, and then something's already good. There you go.
Unless they're putting raisins in the potato salad.
You could probably burn through both the potatoes and the raisins with some barbecue sauce. I know you probably disagree, but Lindy Fitness says there are people who have butchered great songs with terrible covers. Oh yeah, like, if you like put the legwork in, like, somewhere there was somebody doing a solo vocals acoustic guitar cover of a song that nobody asked for. Like, that's a great way. Like my opinion, a great way to ruin a song is to say I should sing this by myself and let me get my acoustic guitar. it's a great way to ruin a song.
Yeah.
Like you could just play it the way that it sounds and not do an interpretation, and it'll probably sound pretty good. Like you're just playing that song on guitar and you're singing it. But the moment that you decide to do some sort of interpretation, whew, down the gutter it goes.
Yeah.
Yep, great point, Lindy Fitness. Ashley Tisdale ruining No Diggity. Nobody asked for that cover.
We didn't need that.
But what we did ask for is Lil Nas sprinkled over literally everything. It works very well.
Yeah, we're totally down for that. Let's see. So as we continue to talk through our quick hits, if you love the Goonies style 80s revival show, that's
Stranger Johns.
Stranger Johns. I like it. That's good. I'm keeping it. It's capitalizing off your 80s nostalgia for your Ghostbusters D&D and Legos. Will debut next year. Typically, Stranger Things has debuted in the summertime, so we kind of thought, it's August now, so if it was going to debut this year, it probably would have already happened. And we did get a little sizzle reel of clips from the previous seasons and like small tidbits from this season. So it's like a really short 15-30 seconds of season 4. So probably got delayed due to COVID. I hadn't been able to check the production on this very much, but we can expect it sometime in 2022. Whether they will wait until the summer to release this is unclear at this point, though.
I'm excited. I mean, I love Stranger Things. I really like the universe and the setup and the style and the presentation. And it's just it's a fun and engaging show, and I'm excited for more whatever season that comes out. Did you have another thing?
Stranger Johns is the black exploitation cover of Stranger Things.
Nice.
Oh, just
perfect. Nice.
Oh gosh, I need that on a shirt.
Let's see. We got some new. We have quite a bit of Disney related / Star Wars related info coming up this show. We saw the new lightsaber debut in Disney Parks video a little while back. The new retractable lightsaber was teased. And the video shows different attractions and robotics team that was dreamt up by the Disney Imagineering group, and we got a quick glimpse at the saber deploying. Essentially, what it is it's like a more realistic, quote unquote, realistic depiction of a fictional thing, of a lightsaber that, like, back when you and I were kids, Kenny, you had the big plastic one, and you had to flip it out, and it would all come out in one whole thing or whatever. This one, it looks like you just like push a button, and the whole thing deploys straight up, and then ignites, or rather illuminates. In the Star Wars fight choreography community, of which I am a part of, people were kind of discussing like, oh, well, what do you like people, well, more in the Star Wars group community, people were asking like, oh wow, can like you like hit it against stuff? Have we seen it like used or whatever? And more, I was saying like, if you want to hit blades against blades, really what you want to use is probably a polycarbonate blade, like of medium heavyweight grade, and anything less than that, like you're probably just going to break your toy. It's like, oh wow, can I hit my Xboxes together? And it's like, I mean, yeah, you could if you don't like your Xboxes, but to me, it looks like this is largely a cosplay tool. That's not meant to be hit against anything. If you do, I don't think they are doing the whole let's do LEDs thing anymore. That's kind of a lightsabers of the past. But if you do, you're probably likely to either just break the blade of the lightsaber, which I'm sure is probably replaceable, but given that it also deploys, it's probably very expensive. Or you might just dislodge something inside because it's probably not manufactured to be hit against other things. So if you want to do that, there's plenty of fan crafting websites where you can get like a lightsaber where you can whack it up against another lightsaber, preferably not a person, for like $50 or $60 if you don't care what.
Sometimes you might need to take somebody out like that.
Hey man, sometimes.
I mean, this is wild because I remember at least 2 classic lightsabers in my lifetime. There was the Vader and Luke lightsabers, which were plastic, but they couldn't completely go into the saber. So you still had like this little red piece, or the green piece kind of sticking out. And then by the time the prequels came out, then you finally could get Obi-Wan's original saber and Qui-Gon Jinn's, and the plastic would finally collapse into it. And then during that time period, you got all the FX ones, like the one you're holding that just like blew up out of that time period.
Yeah, this is one of the fancier, dancier ones that has like stuff like flash on clash where it lights up when you hit it against other stuff. It has like the thing where you can cut into something while you do it, and it blinks while you do that, and it has Roy G. Biv, so I can change the color on the fly if I wanted to. But it's pretty neat. So this is something that's more towards the higher end with sound and changing colors and all that razzmatazz. From back when I used to do fight choreography. But just to give an idea of what that looks like, it looks like that.
Yeah. Did you have that ready for this clip, or did you?
No, I realized that it's been sitting there for a minute, so I was like, oh yeah, like the very lightsabers I'm talking about are right over yonder. So I guess I'll just hold it up for you guys. Yeah. But also, speaking of other Star Wars news, we have some insight on the newest Disney hotel that's going to be available soon. Galaxy's Edge. We just got the price for what it costs to stay in Galaxy's Edge. If you're a family of 4 and you want to stay in Galaxy's Edge, you should expect to pay about $6,000 for a 2-night stay.
2 nights.
2 nights. Couples, it's just shy of 5,000. So it is a pretty penny. For anybody who is a Disney enthusiast, as far as like the hotels go, of which my mom is a Disney enthusiast. Also, she's probably watching the show now. Happy birthday, Mom! It's my mom's birthday.
Hey.
But the strat, or the way that it usually goes, is the new hotness. Once it comes out, like everybody wants to stay there. Yeah. So it's like, it's the fanciest, the danciest, the new thing going on. So it's going to be very expensive when it comes out. Give it about a year or two, and then that cost tends to come down. And generally the strat is, pick the fancy hotel that you want to stay at. If you're going to Disney for like a week or so, stay there for 2 days. And then pick someplace else that's more affordable, like Pop Century or something like that. But it's going to be expensive.
Where's the place that's like $100 a night?
There's an off-site place. I can't remember what it's called. But there's a bunch of options that are around that are like really, really, really close to Disney, but not on Disney property. So like that's like the ultimately going to be the more affordable stuff. If you don't mind like a little bus ride or whatever, which you got to get on the bus anyway, more or less all the time. All right, if you don't mind a little bus ride, that's the way to go.
That's what I have to do, because otherwise, I already don't like theme parks as it is. So you don't want me there complaining about, I can't believe I just paid $600.
I mean, what you can do, you are allowed to go to other resorts that are there. So you can go to, Animal Kingdom Lodge or whatever and stay there, and then go and visit Galaxy's Edge and go and take pictures and look around the space and do all that stuff. And then, go back to your hotel that don't cost so much.
Yeah, see, I'll take the kids to the Super 8 and be like, look, you want to stay in Galaxy's Edge, you can do that when you have paid me back for college. Until then,
it's like I can't. What I look out here spending $6,000 to stay 2 nights somewhere when you still got to go to college. I don't think so.
Yeah. And I still like steak dinners, son. What you
right?
Lenny Fitness said Kenny is the classic black dad. Well, thank you. Got to be practical.